Oh boy, he's going on a big run right now, just taking all kinds of line. Well, how's it going, guys? I'm back out here at one of my favorite lakes. I've been coming out here a lot lately and having some pretty good luck. So it's really cold out today. I got all set up and it's about -5 right now. I'm hoping as that sun starts peeking up over the lake there, it'll warm up. It warmed up to about 20 when I was out here yesterday. So I'm gonna get on inside the tent and get set up and see if we can find us some lake trout today. Well, I got everything all set up in the tent. Got the heater going, got a couple of holes drilled, and I got the Garmin going. I'm using the Garmin Striker 4 today. On this rod over here, this is my Shakespeare 36-inch Wild Series medium heavy fast action jigging rod. I've got that set up with some herring on the end of it, and that's hanging just at about 12 feet below the ice. When I was out here the other day, there were some really big rainbow trout kind of feeding right below the ice, but I didn't really have a chance to catch them because I was focusing on the lakers below. So I've got that set up, hopefully to catch some rainbows. And on this rod over here, this is actually a new rod that I just built. This is the Lost Creek 45-inch medium heavy fast action Baitcaster series, and I've got that paired with a loose speed spool. This is a super awesome reel. I use it a lot in the summertime on my baitcasters and I really love it, so I thought it would be a nice combination on this rod. And I've got that paired up with some Power Pro V2 Super Slick, and I've got about an 8-foot leader of Trilene Sensation mono in the 14-pound test. This is a pretty awesome setup. I've caught a couple char on it so far. I really like it, and I really like this baitcaster setup. It makes it a whole lot easier when you're fishing deep water to just kind of let it sink all the way down to the bottom. So on this rod, I'm going to start the day out with the jigging wrap. This is the 2.5-inch in the perch pattern. Unfortunately, they didn't have any more of the rainbow trout pattern. We don't have any perch up here in Alaska, but this actually surprisingly did pretty well on the char. I'm thinking kind of because it has that goldish orange belly. So it could also resemble a char if you're looking at it from underneath. So we're going to go ahead and drop that down. It looks like we're marking something just kind of scurrying across the bottom right now. So I'm going to let this just sink all the way to the bottom. couple little nibbles so far, but nothing that actually really bit. So I decided to switch over to this Columbia River white chartreuse tube jig. It's one of my favorites. I've caught lots of lake trout on this jig. It's got these cool little fins on the side that kind of make this nice chattering noise as it circles through the water. So it's got a really nice action to it, and I'm going to tip it with some herring and then drop it down the hole and see if we can get some action. There's one. Don't feel very big. I had trying to conserve battery on the GoPro, so I didn't have it running, but I had 3 or 4 of them kind of chasing me at one time right off the bottom, so that was pretty darn cool. Let's get this out of the water just to play it safe. I really don't want to deal with that right now. Alright. Well, whether he's small or big, it's the first laker of the day, and that's always good. It's pretty easy to get skunked while you're fishing lakers, so I'm pretty happy we at least got a bite. I got skunked out here yesterday, and that kind of sucked, so... Got him up to about 10 feet under the ice right now. I just kind of want to play it safe with them. This rod handles pretty well, though, for this. This is the first laker I've hooked into on this new setup, and it's pretty sweet. Lots of head shakes, and it just kind of absorbing all of those right now and making it pretty darn easy. This Power Pro V2 is just like butter on this reel. It's just absolutely amazing. All right. Oh, he came off. That's unfortunate. Came off right under the ice. I'm going to drop it back down. There's still a few of them down there, it looks like, so I'm going to drop back down and see if we can get another one hooked up. Well, that didn't take long. I dropped it back down to the bottom and instantly hooked into a second one, so I think we're going to have a pretty good day out here today. I've got him up to about 20 feet right now. This one feels like it's fighting just a little bit harder. We got big head shakes, and he's certainly not pleased, and he's... Oh boy, he's going on a big run right now, just taking all kinds of line. Oh wow, yeah, I think this one's gonna be... This one's probably gonna be the biggest laker I've ever caught if I can land this one without losing him. This one feels pretty good. Oh jeez. Yeah, he ran all the way back down to the bottom. He's at about 35 feet right now. Holy cow, this one's heavy. Should be pretty darn close to the bottom of the ice now. Still getting lots of head shakes from this fish. He feels pretty good. Trying to figure out exactly where he's at. See if I can turn some of this light off here so I can see down the hole a little bit better. I've got about 3 feet of ice here that I had to drill through, so it's making it just a little bit difficult to figure out where this fish is at. I think that last one, because when he popped off, the jig was literally right at the hole, so I think I might have kind of drug him around that sharp corner at the bottom, and I think that might be what lost that last one, so I'm going to try not to do that. Okay, so there's my leader, so he should be right underneath us right now. This is another reason that I really like. Oh my goodness, that's a big fish. Holy cow. He's gonna go on another run. If he does, we're just gonna let him. Yeah, this is, holy cow, that's a big fish. For this lake, at least. Not big for Laker standards, but for this lake, that's probably one of the bigger fish in here. So, let's see if we can get him up here. I almost have his head to the hole. There we go. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a big Laker. Holy cow. Let's see if I can get him under the gill and get him up here. Wow, that's a big fish. Oh, that is awesome. That's the biggest Laker I've ever caught, and honestly, this is probably my PB trout of any kind. I don't think I've ever got a rainbow this big either. Hold on, my friend. Hold on. Yeah, I knew he was going to be big. Those runs that he was going on were absolutely insane. I'm trying not to handle him too much. Let me get my hands wet just to kind of keep him safe. Fish this big. This is an old fish. I mean, it takes them a long time to get this big, and especially in a lake that's so heavily fished like this one. I really want to play it safe, get him back in the water. Just want to get this tube jig out without mangling him up too much. There we go. Wow, what a gorgeous fish. Absolutely beautiful. That is a huge lake trout, for me at least. Wow, what a beast. I don't have my tape measure handy, so I'm just gonna set him next to my rod. This is a 45-inch rod. So he's probably 26. He's to the first. He's to this eye right here. Probably at least 26. So let's go ahead and get this guy back in the water. Like I said, I want to get him in pretty quick and not hurt him too bad. Man, what a beautiful fish. And there he goes. Back to the depths. Wow, that was exciting. Yeah, I'd say probably 25, 26, somewhere in there. All right. Well, first Laker on the board for the day, second one I've hooked into, and third one to play with my line. Looks like we've got some more activity down there on the bottom, and I think we're in a pretty darn good spot. So I'm gonna get some of this stuff scooped back out and drop back down and see if we can get another. I went and got my tape measure out of the car, so real quick before I drop her back down, I just kind of curious just to see how big that fish was. So from the second eye of the rod to the tip, no, actually a little bit longer than I thought, about 20, probably 27 and a half to 28. So, personal best Laker, pretty happy with that, and I still have a few more hours I can hang out and kill. That one only took about 45 minutes, so I still have my herring tipped on there, and I'm gonna drop it back down and see if we can get ourselves another one. In this particular lake, I find that they like to take it on the drop and they like it on the bottom. That's kind of what they're looking for. It's pretty rare that you'll find a fish that'll actually chase it up through the water column. I usually like to jig about 3 to 5 feet off the bottom, just enough to where you can see them rise up at it on the fish finder. And then as soon as I see them, I like to drop it down to the bottom and see if they'll scoop it up on the drop or off the bottom. Oh, there's one. And I never did tell you guys what I'm running for my sonar. I'm using the Garmin Striker 4, and this is the portable kit that comes with the cool portable carry case, and it's got the 7 amp hour battery that also comes along with it, with the ice float for ice fishing, and it comes with a couple mounts to mount it on your kayaks, canoes, or boats. So it's a pretty cool kit. My wife got it for me for Christmas, and I've been using it pretty extensively. I've got just the traditional graph turned on right now, and I also have A-scope mode turned on, which gives me that flasher on the right-hand side of the screen. A lot of times when I'm fishing water deeper than about what I'm in now, which is 40 feet, I'll turn on split zoom, which will give me the entire water column on the right side, and then the left side of the screen will be just zoomed in on the bottom 10 to 20 feet, depending on what I have it set to. And I find that to be really helpful for lake trout fishing, but we're only in about 40 feet of water right now. I'm not really having too much trouble seeing them come up off the bottom on the right side. Oh, here comes one. So I don't really have that turned on right now. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, there's 2 of them. There it goes. Let's get that down to the bottom. Like I was saying a minute ago. There we go. I was just about to say, these fish like to take it on the drop, or they'll take it off the bottom. That kind of worked out just perfect. This doesn't feel like too bad of a fish either. It doesn't feel as good as that last one, but it doesn't feel too bad. He hasn't taken me on any crazy runs yet, so I'll give him a little bit of drag though, just in case. I've got him up to about 20 feet now. Let's see if I can turn the light off here again. It's so cold outside today that the holes are freezing up on me, even though I've got the heater going. Some of that stuff out before I get them up too close. I think we're at about 20 feet below the ice right now. Oh yeah, it's not a bad fish. I just saw him kind of circle underneath me. Definitely not as big as that last one, but we'll take him. It's always a good day when you catch more than one lake trout, especially on a lake that can be kind of slow like this one, if you guys know where I'm at. I assume most of you probably do know where I'm at. It's a pretty common lake people like to fish. A little bit closer to town than some of the other places. Yeah, that's just a little guy. That's okay. Still a pretty fish. See if I can get his head kind of guided to the hole here. That's why I like this 45-inch rod. I can get him right up to the tip of the rod. Come here. Yeah, this one's got a little bit more fight in him than that big one that I just caught. He's just running in circles right around the bottom of the hole. See if I can get him right up to the tip of the rod and just kind of guide him in. Come here. Come here. Come here. There you go. Just a little guy, but that's okay. Come here, bud. It's always good to get your hand wet before handling these fish. Like I said, it takes these guys such a long time to grow, and especially in a lake like this, it's unfortunately been depleted over the years. It's just good to make sure you're taking care of your fish. Let's see if we can. There we go. Yeah, this one's got all kind of fight. Let's go ahead and get him back in the hole. Oh, he was ready to go. All right, fish number 2 on the board. This white and chartreuse Columbia River tube jig is working pretty good for me today. That's the 3rd one I've hooked into, 2nd one I've got through the ice. And if you guys are interested in these, they're locally made in Palmer, Alaska, which is the reason I picked them up. I really, really like using the locally made stuff. Well, I think the morning bite has kind of turned off. I got out here real early this morning, and as everything's kind of warming up, I think the fish are starting to become a little bit more inactive. I haven't marked a fish in about 45 minutes now, but that's okay. I got my personal best lake trout today, and I got another small one. So I'm gonna chalk it up as a good day. I had an absolute blast out here again. I'm gonna get all this stuff packed up and get in the car, get back home, and have myself some lunch. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you on the next one.